It is with profound respect, admiration, and appreciation that I stand to offer congratulations to our abiding friend, brother, attorney, member, deacon, Judge James Hewitt III. It was my memorable opportunity and responsibility to preside over his ordination as a deacon in the Olivet Institutional Baptist Church, just to name one of the many memorable endeavors we have shared across the years. I could say in another setting that there are perhaps, Pastor Colvin, some deacons we ordain and we wonder and there are those for whom we are eternally grateful. Judge Hewitt is one of those for whom we are eternally grateful. Whether in the responsibility of private counsel, institutional representative, community counsel, governmental advisor, national practitioner in election laws and procedures, Judge Hewitt carries the banner of excellence. Excellence in commitment, excellence in his work, excellence in life and detail. And if I were to stand here for days and years, I could not add one iota to the record already made and will stand in history. So we stand today to say, congratulations, Judge James Hewitt III. Amen.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. When Judge Hewitt asked me to come say some remarks, he didn't clarify that he was asking me to come to the lectern at Olivet to follow Pastor Moss. That is a very tough act to follow. Thank you, Pastor Moss. Pastor Colvin, thank you for your hospitality here today. Very good to see you again. Mayor Jackson, Judge Stewart, Judge Russo, Justice O'Connor, all of our esteemed elected officials, judges, and others who are with us here today. I know that I speak for Governor Kasich, were he able to be with us here today, at his pride to be able to offer to this community such a respected, experienced, capable judge to the Cleveland Municipal Court bench. It makes me think of great partnerships we've had in this community of late, leading this community forward. Partnerships like Mayor Jackson, working with the Republican Party, likes of Ed Crawford, Mal Mixon, to bring the Republican National Convention right here to Cleveland, part of helping lift this whole community. Or Representative Fudge, our Congresswoman, working with leaders like June Taylor, Andrew Jackson, so many others, to move forward, along with Pastor Colvin, the Opportunity Corridor Inclusion Initiative, or Ohio House Speaker Bill Batchelder, Senators Tom Patton and Olivet member Shirley Smith, and Mayor Jackson on the Cleveland Schools Transformation Plan that Governor Kasich was pleased to be able to sign. These partnerships helping move this community forward and show that we're able to work together for the better of this community. I think also of my predecessor, once removed as chairman of the Republican Party, Roger Sonnenberg. When I called him and told him that the governor was soon going to be announcing Judge Hewitt to be appointed to the Cleveland Municipal Court bench, and Roger said, "You finally got him to say yes." And what he meant by that, it goes to what Judge Russo spoke about earlier, judicial temperament. Part of that judicial temperament, I believe, and I see it in our judges who are here, they have an excess of humility, the ability to be humble. That humility that Judge Hewitt, before he was a judge, when Governor Kasich or Governor Taft before him, or Governor Voinovich even before, had inquired, would James Hewitt consider an appointment to the bench? And James Hewitt's response in the past had been, I don't yet have the experience that I would want to bring to this community. And he waited, and he knew if the time were right, if it were in the Lord's plan, that call would come. And when he heard that call, he was ready to say yes. And that's why Roger said to me, so you finally got him to say yes. It also puts me in mind of one of the first honors I had as Republican Party chairman just over 10 years ago, was to preside at to make some remarks at the investiture of newly appointed Judge Joan Sonnenberg. And I had the honor then of introducing former Judge Jean Merle Capers with us here today. Your Honor, great to see you here. I have the honor today to introduce another strong woman who is a leader in the judiciary here in Ohio. Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor is the 10th Chief Justice and the first woman in Ohio history to lead the Ohio judicial branch. Since she took office in 2011, Chief Justice O'Connor has led significant reforms and improvements in the Ohio judicial system, including cutting the Ohio Supreme Court budget, establishing a task force to examine court funding statewide, creating a committee to examine the administration of the death penalty, proposing improvements to strengthen judicial elections in Ohio, and another partnership working with us here, both the Democrat and Republican parties in Cuyahoga County and the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association on the screening of judicial qualifications. She first joined the Supreme Court of Ohio as an Associate Justice in January 2003. She was reelected in November 2008 in a landslide victory in which she carried each of Ohio's 88 counties and took approximately 68% of the vote. She was elected Chief Justice in 2010 by a 2-to-1 margin over her challenger, and again carrying every county. Born in the nation's capital, but raised in Strongsville and Parma, Chief Justice O'Connor's career in public service and law spans 3 decades and includes service as a private lawyer, magistrate, common pleas court judge, prosecutor, and Supreme Court justice. She earned her Bachelor's of Art at Seton Hall College in 1973 before going on to earn her law degree right here at Cleveland's Marshall College of Law in 1980. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court, Maureen O'Connor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Rob, thank you very much for that introduction, that kind introduction. I really am very appreciative of the fact that I have been asked to share this distinguished dais with the likes of the clergy and, of course, our newly appointed judge who we are here to honor. It is quite an honor to stand here and look out at the audience. And I mentioned to the judge when I looked out and I saw all of the people that were here, this is probably about 3 or 4 times the number of people that normally attend an investiture of a member of the judiciary. So this is quite a community. For you to be here, to be supportive, to be enveloping, to wrap this judge with your love, your strength, and your prayers. And we all know that those are items, gifts that you will have to continue to make to this judge as he takes the bench, as he performs the duty, and then, of course, as he seeks election to this post in November. Now, before we turn to the administration of the oath of office, I want to address some remarks to Judge Hewitt. Serving in an elected office is a privilege, which you no doubt understand well from your time as a member of the State Board of Education in the 1980s. The 21st Congressional District was not the only area to benefit from your time and your talents. For 8 years, the city of East Cleveland benefited from your counsel as law director. In addition, the Supreme Court Board of Bar Examiners also benefited from your 5 years of guidance on both developing and then grading the bar exam. That is quite an honor for an attorney to be asked to do that. I take pleasure in noting that you are also alum of Cleveland Marshall, a lifelong Clevelander, and a grad of St. Ignatius High School. After having been a judge for exactly 2 weeks, you certainly realize that your responsibilities to the public you serve, the colleagues you serve with, the staff you employ, and the litigants and defendants who come before you in the court is monumental. As a dedicated public servant who answers to the rule of law, you are charged with the solemn duty to issue decisions fairly and impartially. As Chief Justice, I have been called upon many, many times to exact an oath from those individuals who have been called upon to assume the responsibility for carrying out a particular duty. A judge's career starts out with an oath when they are admitted to the bar. The lawyer swears to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state of Ohio, and to uphold the ethical standards incumbent upon all who practice law. The promise is to treat all with courtesy, with respect, and with dignity. Upon becoming a member of the judiciary, another oath is administered to further bind that individual to perform additional duties and responsibilities. The oath pledges precise conduct, both on and off the bench. And these are not mere words. Taking an oath, the swearing in, as it is called, is more than just a perfunctory, quaint ceremonial custom. It is not to be taken lightly and has real significance. As a result of your oath, your conduct is anchored by the public good and the public trust. By raising your right hand and taking the oath, you are bound by duty to your fellow citizens. Part of the duty must include a dedication to remain the neutral arbiter. Take what you do as a judge very, very seriously. You are in a position of trust and one that focuses on duty to the litigants before you and to the court and to the community. The stakes are high and the expectations are great. Having said that, please don't take yourself too seriously. You have to keep a sense of humor. And don't forget to build time in for your family, for your community, for your spiritual growth, and for yourself. You'll be a better judge for having done that, but more importantly, you'll be a better human being. As I conclude, please know that your public service is greatly appreciated. Every day, you will face tough decisions that need to be made, and you are vested with that awesome responsibility here in the city of Cleveland. Every day, you make decisions that affect the lives, the livelihoods, and fortunes of your fellow citizens. Those decisions will not be easy. They will weigh on your mind, and sometimes they will keep you up at night. Your experience, coupled with your knowledge in the law, will result in fair-minded decision-making that benefits the litigants in court and the justice system overall. Whether they realize it or not, the citizens of your city are better because of it. When you wrestle with a decision, it means you're taking the time to consider the ramifications. Your work affects not just the litigants directly, but the other people in their lives, the people that have been affected by their actions, and the broader community at large. In addition to being critically important, the work you do is tremendously rewarding. We are fortunate to work every day doing what we love, helping people and safeguarding the rule of law. It is true, as George Washington said, that the due administration of justice is the firmest pillar of good government. As the face of the court system for city residents, you play such an important role in shaping their outlook of justice. Please know that your efforts are valued by the members of the Supreme Court and by our staff. Congratulations again, Judge, and thank you for your effort to further the cause of justice here in the great state of Ohio. God bless.
We'll now have the Chief Justice administer the oath of office and have Judge Hewitt robed by his son, James R. Hewitt, also known as Jamie, I understand. Judge Hewitt's family, please join him.
Where you can get the Bible. Put your hand on the raise your right hand. If you will, yes, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James H. Hewitt III, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Ohio, and will administer justice without respect to persons, and will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as judge of the Cleveland Municipal Court, according to the best of my ability and understanding. And this I do, as I shall answer unto God. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Please be seated. We'll have a few remarks from Judge Hewitt.
Good afternoon. I think it's appropriate that we start my remarks with a word of prayer. Our Father and our God, we reach our hand to Thee, for there's no other help that I know. O Lord, You would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that Your hand would be with me, and that You would keep me from evil, and that I might not cause pain. So God granted what Jabez requested. Amen. Pastor Dr. Colvin and Dr. Moss, Reverend Hilton Smith and Reverend Shelton Flanagan, my fellow deacons, and members of the diaconate, Congresswoman Marcia Fudge, Mayor Frank Jackson, East Cleveland Mayor Wallace Davis, and members of the judiciary, the 8th District, Court of Appeals, Common Pleas Court, and the Cleveland Municipal Court. My law office family from Hewitt Law, my immediate family, of course, my brothers, my sister, my son and son-in-law, sister-in-law, and those that have traveled near and far to be here at this occasion. My Olivet family, my St. Ignatius family, my Q Psi Phi family, and my Glenville neighborhood family. And of course, I cannot forget my brand new family at the Cleveland Municipal Court. When the news of my appointment was announced on February 1, the entire Olivet congregation all stood in a spontaneous ovation. I was humbled and overwhelmed. I knew that this investiture ceremony had to be here at Olivet. You may be wondering why this investiture ceremony is here at Olivet, my home church, and not at Cleveland City Hall or the old courthouse. You may recall that I had coordinated church visits for Chief Justice Moyer and State Treasurer Ken Blackwell. We all know that the black church is where you can touch the most responsible individuals. During these experiences, I observed good preaching, good choirs, friendly ushers and soloists. After the campaign, I found myself returning to Olivet. I sat right there in the middle area, and eventually the Holy Spirit moved me to walk down the aisle and join. And this is not unusual. The former church clerk, Alice Franklin, also converted and became Baptist. Pastor Moss soon asked me to become a deacon, which I agreed, and the meaning of deacon, of course, means to serve. Let me thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I'd like to recognize a few individuals. Gene Capers, Judge, you're so glad that you're here. Judge Keenan, is she here? Judge Una Keenan? I expect, okay. And now I'd like to introduce my campaign staff. First, my campaign treasurer, Mr. Bracy Lewis. Would you please stand? Of course, everyone knows that Mr. Lewis is a retired banker from Quincy Savings and Loan in Bank One. And he also served as the campaign treasurer for Marvin McMickle and municipal court judges Sarah Harper and Judge George Trumbo. Thank you. His deputy is Deborah Enty, my girlfriend, my significant other, my best friend. She has experience serving as campaign treasurer for Ronald B. Adrian, and you may remember that she is a former of the court staff at the Cleveland Municipal Court. Okay. Stephen Beckel, my personal bailiff. Where's Stephen? There you are. He has experience serving as bailiff in the Domestic Relations Court. During my judicial interview, I shared these final thoughts with the senior advisors to the governor. With 33 years of experience as a practicing attorney, I believe I'm uniquely qualified and prepared for this next career opportunity. My work for governmental bodies like the City of East Cleveland Library, the Cleveland School District, corporations like Shore Bank, Gaines Funeral Home, Cummings and Davis Funeral Home, individuals. I've served as legal guardian for a number of individuals, nonprofits, and religious organizations has been meaningful and extensive. My public work as a law director, panel commissioner with the Ohio Court of Claims, and bar examiner demonstrate my commitment to public service. I will bring new energy to the Cleveland Municipal Court. I will treat everyone with respect. I will render decisions with compassion and understanding. I'm therefore humbled that Governor Kasich has appointed me to this significant position. You should now know that I now have a presence on Facebook, and so you should read what was posted just at March 7th of this year. A very exciting first week at the Cleveland Municipal Court is in the books. I have met some truly devoted and talented people throughout the week and have come away highly impressed with court operations. Sitting in with several judges has given me a great perspective on the well-orchestrated functions of everyone involved in courtroom proceedings. The common goal is to run a fair, efficient court, and everyone from the administrative staff, clerk's office, bailiffs, and probation departments, along with the prosecutor and public defenders, are committed to achieving that common goal. A job well done. Okay. I'm pleased that you have signed in and you've indicated your email address. It's a way that we will stay in touch on the campaign trail. Now I'd ask that you please enjoy the reception. We have some Creole delicacies. After all, my mother is a New Orleans native. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
We will now have a prayer by the pastor of the Greater Abyssinia Baptist Church, Reverend Hilton Smith, followed by a selection by Deacon Roland Crowder. Reverend Smith.